the Bent Motorsports podcast with the owner of Bent Motorsports, David Beckett, and his crew, Jacob Hunsinger, James Hernandez, and Jake Russo. Listen in as the guys discuss all things motorsports, including tech tips and current shop projects.
Welcome back to the Bent Motorsports podcast. Today we have another special guest in from Baja Designs, Brennan, the sales manager, among, I'm sure, other hats that you wear over at that place, but we'll just say sales manager for now.
There's a lot of hats.
Yeah. So Brennan's the one that basically if someone buys something from Baja Designs and happens to be local and comes in and picks it up personally versus having it shipped to them and then they want it installed, he goes ahead and gives me a call and shoots the business over our way so that we can install those lights for people, which is absolutely awesome. So a little bit about Baja Designs. I don't know if you know who they are. The owner, Alan Roach, right? And I know there's another guy, engineer.
Tex involved. Mitchell?
Yeah, Tex, right?
Tex. So Tex has actually left, and he's now doing his own consulting thing. He's
okay.
He really got our machine shop humming, and now he decided to take that and go consult with other machine shops to fix their processes and to kind of streamline what they do.
Oh, that's pretty cool. So Baja Designs, 20-plus years.
25 years. We said 25th anniversary six months ago.
And that's when you unveiled the new
LP9.
LP9. That's a pretty crazy light.
So the LP9 is the revamp of the La Paz. So the La Paz was the 8-inch HID like Baja light that everyone ran, and it was just an iconic light. We wanted to bring it back, but with new innovation. You know, we wanted LEDs, we wanted performance. I mean, we had meeting after meeting, and we argued a lot about what we wanted. I wanted the knob on top. The La Paz adjuster knob was like something that I fought till I couldn't fight anymore. Everyone was like, no, it's the bracket. The whole ring cost us a lot of money to make because it was a fabricated ring. It was a CNC machine knob, and I mean, it would have thrown the pricing out of whack. And so, I let that fight go, and then we got on to adding cornering technology. And so the light's cool. It has high beam, low beam, it has cornering light, and it has an amber backlight. So it's it actually has the most amount of features of any light that we've ever made so far.
In a single light. I mean, it's a single unit that has all those features.
It's one big 8-inch light, and it has everything.
Yeah, which is totally rad. I mean, these guys, 25 years now engineering the lights for motorcycles and automotive. Now, the owner, Roach, these guys started because they were Baja 1000 guys, right? So, I mean, this is primarily an off-road thing.
Yeah, so it started, the whole thing escalates and evolved. It started in Alan's garage. He was making motorcycle dual sport kits. And, I actually just heard there was a podcast he did the other day, and I just learned a lot. I learned a lot of stuff, from Alan from back in the day. It was, he was doing this out of his garage, and, one of the guys in the magazine, they did a ride, and then everyone was like, holy crap, how do I get my dirt bike street legal? And Alan's phone started blowing up.
Right.
And so then it evolved. They had, they got a store, and Alan started racing, and then it just evolved to there. And then he's like, wow, lights suck. It's time to make some good lights.
Right. And that's why you guys have now you're the scientists of lighting, right? I mean, you guys are the ones who are on the cutting edge of whatever is lighting.
Yeah, so the scientists of lighting tagline, it comes from, us being more of an engineering-based company,
right,
and actually putting performance first instead of looks, feels, marketing. It's just
your
it's all about performance.
Your form follows function. It's a true engineering thing. It's not something that's just supposed to be blingy and sell millions of that everybody's going to put on their little Hyundai. It's
everything has a function. Down to reflectors and the LEDs that we use, the circuit boards that are used, everything has a point. Right.
Which is pretty neat, I think. Now, you have some personal projects too, right? So, I mean, not only do you work at Baja Designs and sell these lights, but you're an off-roader. You're in it.
Oh yeah, I mean, it's like my second full-time job is, I leave the shop at 5:30, and I go build off-road cars until 11, 12 o'clock at night, 4 or 5 days a week.
None of us have ever done that, right, guys?
No.
That is living the dream right there.
Yeah, my wife is very very understanding, and it's. I mean, without her letting it happen, it wouldn't be happening. So,
Yeah, trust me, man. I know that. I started my business in my garage, and we would be in the garage until midnight, 1 o'clock. I mean, friggin' cut off wheels, welding, grinding, and she's in there trying to sleep, and we're out in the garage. The neighbors hated me. I mean, but whatever.
Yeah, she knew going in, it wasn't something that was a shock. When we got married, it was like, oh hey, by the way, I'm not going to be home that much.
Well,
but
hopefully you were doing that before while you were dating, and she understood the routine.
Yeah,
so.
I mean, she understands the desire that I have for this sport. I mean, it's a sickness. I think is an understatement. It's a I don't know. It's AIDS, full blown AIDS,
fully blown.
So what truck are you working? How many trucks do you have?
So I have I got my 4-door Super Crew pre-runner that I've had for 2 years. That I got it pretty much done, and it was really good as is. But we've taken it to the next notch. It just everything's gotten better. Shock tuning, bigger rear ends, bigger tires, bigger brakes. Just really fancying the thing up. So that truck is technically sold to like a really good buddy, and I'm building a extra cab version of the same truck, but escalating the whole thing with bigger shocks, bigger tires, bigger motor, bigger tranny, and just.
Do you do build threads?
I used to. So I'm on some of the websites, Desert Rangers, and but I haven't done it in a long time.
Do it.
I'll do it. I've been trying to get because my wife does videography. I've been trying to get her to come in and do some filming and stuff. But
yeah, by the way, guys, on that note, last year we had a car show. It was our first car show. Last year, 2 years ago.
That was 2 years ago.
No way, it's 2 years ago already.
Yeah.
I feel like it was 2 years ago.
We'll
because
give
you
it a
weren't
year and a
married
half.
yet. You weren't married yet.
No.
So Brennan came in with his now wife, and they flew a drone around and did interviews and made a sick video for us. And so I'd say, hey,
where can
hit
they
them
go
up
see
if
the
you guys
video?
are needing some video stuff. Cause
where can they go see the video at? Is it on your YouTube channel? Where's that at?
I don't know. Is it on our website? Hey,
Facebook?
James, you're my guy.
Your website doesn't exist yet.
Well, I have a website. We're changing the website, so the new website is coming. We'll make sure it's on the new website. I know for sure it's on our social media, on Facebook. I think you can find the complete video on Facebook. And I swear it was on our current website.
If you scroll back a year and a half on Instagram, I'm sure you can find it too. It was like
It's probably like
roughly
5 posts.
a minute, wasn't it? It was about a minute video, maybe a little bit longer.
No,
Yeah, it was right around a minute.
Yeah, so if it's a minute, maybe I'll repost it. I'll get it reposted
definitely.
up. Because now we actually have a YouTube page now. We didn't have a YouTube page at the time. So I think at the time we had put it on Facebook and then we had put it on our website. But the website has been rebuilt since then. So maybe it got bumped.
And
I'll make sure it gets back.
I think we need another car show, to be honest.
You guys had a Bent Motorsports car show?
We did.
It was sweet.
It was off-road and cars. We had all sorts of
There was
crazy
food
cars.
trucks, and it was
We had a live
There was a
band.
live band. It was some crazy name. I don't remember. What was that band called?
I don't know what that band was. I can't even remember the name of that band.
Was it the crazy guy that worked at the auto parts store? No, it was one of his buddies, I think.
Yeah.
A bunch of they were like hill not I don't even the bluegrass. Yeah.
There you go. That was the word.
Oh, Randy's friend?
I don't remember.
Randy?
I think so.
It was a cool band though.
It had everything. It was off-road
We had raffles.
cars.
We were raffling off prizes all day long.
We had a bunch of Jeeps parked on the wall over there, and they were all flexed up on it,
We had an I-8
sweet.
show up, right? Wait, is it I-8, the BMW? What's the new fancy?
Yeah, the i8. Was
It's
there one
the
there?
hybrid electric one?
Oh, that was Joe's car. Yeah,
Joe's car,
It had
right?
it was an i8. He had that's
Joe.
the BMW, right?
Yeah.
And he had a bunch of stuff, and then he brought us BMW SUV, like one of the nice, he had 650 horsepower in a BMW SUV too.
Holy moly!
Yeah,
It was kind of a cool show. We had we had one or two Harleys.
badass.
We had Jeeps and off-road cars. We had hot rods. We had
BMWs.
exotic cars. We had.
it was a
crazy
because that was the
show.
thing, like when we were talking about it originally, it was like, well, is it like an off-road thing? You're like, no, it's just gonna be everything. I was like, that sounds cool. Let's go.
Yeah, it's motorsports, baby. It's whatever.
Just bring whatever you have.
Yeah, bring whatever you
Whack
have.
the dust off of it and drive it down.
1985 gutted Toyota Celica.
Yeah, for the first show, for the first time doing it, it was a really good turnout.
Yeah, and the sucky thing is we never went back and did it again.
There's always time.
We're going to.
Yeah,
I'm
we
saying
are.
that right now.
We
You know
are.
what else is at the show?
It's
too?
a lot of work. I mean, it was probably a second full-time job for you. I mean, getting everything facilitated. And,
It was a lot of work.
Yeah.
painting walls. I remember that part of it.
We got more guys here now, though, so we got some guys who can take some of that. Back
Heck
then,
yeah.
I was kind of doing it all.
We even had a boat at the show, if you remember that.
Did a boat show up?
There was a boat there.
don't
It was
know.
behind your shop. We were working on our eliminator, and it was behind. And my
That's
brother
right.
was like in there working on it during the show, like cleaning things up.
Oh,
and stuff like that.
there was a guy doing wraps on the
on the cat.
on the catfish.
That's right. We had a guy demonstrating wrapping the catfish.
It was
Wow.
super cool.
This sounds like it was pretty fancy.
It really was.
How many
I mean,
people
It
came?
was like a full blown event.
6.
It was cool.
Nice. That boy.
There was at least 10 people there.
You,
Yeah, at least 10
Brennan,
people.
My whole
Jake.
family showed up.
Everyone who brought a car showed up.
Right. Everyone who brought a car showed up.
That's good.
I think there was maybe 30 cars, and there was probably
100 people.
100 people.
Well, shit, you're halfway
That's-
to SEMA.
Yeah, that's pretty rad.
Yeah, so you're getting there.
Great.
SEMA, yeah, well, I listened to the podcast you guys did on SEMA, and it was, I mean, it was
Pretty
pretty
stupid,
It was
right?
pretty good.
No, thanks.
But, I mean, if you do it from the other side of it, it's like, I mean, it's awesome, but it is like, once you do it a couple of years, you're just like, screw this.
Yeah,
I
like-
stand there for 8 hours a day, just talking to people. I mean, the conversations are awesome. The people are awesome. My favorite part is walking in and out of SEMA, and I'll take different routes so that because I don't really get to walk it.
Yeah.
I get to walk it before everyone else gets in there as a vendor.
Yep.
And then I take different routes and I go look at stuff that I didn't see yesterday. And then,
Yeah, see, we get to go in there and just cruise around and do whatever we want.
yeah,
These guys go out and try to find all the booths that are giving away free beer.
Yeah.
there's a lot of those.
We know the spots.
Or rides in fast cars.
Thank
Right.
you, thank you,
Yeah, either
Pennzoil.
or. Yeah, thank you, Pennzoil, right?
They had a sweet little after party. That was dope.
Oh, yeah.
Those things were strong.
I don't know if we were
Whatever they
supposed to
had,
be in
those
there, but we
really
were.
things.
They were cool. We made friends with the bartender. We're homies.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was a booth right across from us last year that it was a muffler company, and they had like open bar, and they're like, yeah, just come on over and give it whatever you want. We're like, all right. So on our way out, we
Sweet. Don't
took
tell
something
me
to go,
that.
like took some margaritas to go.
Yeah. Vegas, baby. You can do whatever you want.
You can get popcorn and beer upstairs. That was cool.
Yeah.
What a
Good
combo.
Good combo. So, Brennan, you're going to go to King of the Hammers this year?
Yeah, King of the Hammers. I mean, it's the show. I think is the 2nd through the 10th. It's like a week-long ordeal.
Right.
I'm only going Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, which is the actual race. There's qualifying, and then the actual race, I believe, is on Friday.
Right. And now, are you going there just as a spectator? Or
No,
is
well, I'll
Baja
be there
Designs-
as a vendor.
Yeah, you
so
got a
we have
vendor booth?
we have a big booth there. We'll have lights on display. We're hoping to actually bring. I want to kind of segue into something. Hopefully, we'll have our latest laser light there.
What?
Yeah, so that's some new technology coming out.
You heard it here first on the Bent Motorsports podcast.
or if you were at
lasers?
SEMA,
Laser
you
beams.
heard about it and saw it at
Hey,
SEMA. if
hey
you were
Brennan,
there.
don't tell them it was at SEMA. They don't need to know.
Yeah,
Freaking
King of the Hammers.
lasers.
Yeah, so laser technology is kind of the newest
So
thing.
it's laser light or
It's a laser diode. So, I mean, it's similar in size and shape to an LED, but it's actually a laser that reflects off of a phosphor and then from the phosphor out. So instead of a LED that is a diode and it shoots into a reflector, you actually have laser technology.
Wow.
And so, we're hoping to gain significant distance. And it's very early on. So the people that manufacture this are the people that are doing it for the high-end cars.
Yep.
Not in the United States. I just found out because the United States won't allow, the DOT requirements won't allow
Well, of course.
laser technology yet until
course.
it gets
DOT.
safer. Or,
Yeah.
Until somebody
Yeah,
pays
DOT's
more money.
Until
Let's be
some
honest.
lobbyist
Yeah.
pays the right person off so that you can do it. I
and
get it.
so, we're hoping to have one on a car, and then for demonstration purposes, and then hopefully we'll have one in the booth that we can show people. So this all just kind of came up in a meeting, and there's a lot of work that needs to happen before this.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely. So
hopefully
now,
one's there. Don't hold me to it, but hopefully one's there.
Well, now, so
We're
I
going to
don't wanna
hold
put-
you to it now.
Yeah,
I'll
no.
talk over you because I want to see this damn laser.
So I don't want to put you on the spot for specs, but just to give people an idea of, I don't know how you measure. Do you measure the brightness in lumens, or
So
how
it's
do you
hard.
guys measure
It's
it?
hard because the it actually comes in at less lumens, but it's providing more distance. And so,
Gotcha.
I don't know if there's going to be a different. It's very early on. This is like the ground stages of where LEDs were, 6-8 years ago.
Not even measurable, people. Did you hear that? It's so bright.
It's so
not
much
even
distance,
measurable.
It's not even measurable.
It's
and
not
so,
even.
What you lose in lumens, you're going to gain in distance, just because it's like a 2-degree spot. It's going to be very tight, very long distance, and so we're going to combine it early on with other LEDs, so it'll be like a blended light, so that you have a all around light. Because if you just have a 2-degree spot, there's not many people that can use a 2-degree spot.
Right. I think that's going to be pretty cool. I mean, especially if, obviously the big trucks, the trophy trucks, the fast trucks, they all need light that can project out really far because they're going really fast. My Jeep doesn't go really fast, but it would be nice to have something that, even if it was just a small, like an S2
spotlight
or something, or a small spot that you could turn on, that you could even, direct it, kind of like an old cop spotter light.
Yeah, so it's it's hard. We don't really know what the application is going to be, and we know it's going to provide tons of distance. So obviously, the race guys are going to love it.
Yeah.
But as far as the all around guys, maybe the UTV crowd, and because they are limited in the amount of lights they can use,
Right.
And so if you have one light that does everything, it might be a huge benefit.
Right. No, I agree.
Or even for the dude that has a bunch of lights on there, but he wants that one, like you sub out the one that's not so bright and you put that one in instead of it, and then all of a sudden you have twice or 3 or 4 times the distance, with just that one light, depending on how big it is.
Yeah, so we're talking about doing an XL, which is a 4.5 inch by 4.5 inch light in all laser, and it will just be a super small, tight spot.
That's sweet.
So it's just like the laser is literally a laser.
Laser,
So
man.
weird. Yes,
Laser beams.
Would you guys do, like, say a guy has a light bar on his, like a 50-inch light bar. Would you do an LED light bar, but then have, like, lasers in the outer portion for spots, or have you even talked about that kind of stuff? Do they integrate
that
together?
definitely came up in the meeting, because people are going to want it. It's at the stage where we're at, the high end guys are going to be like, I don't care what it costs, like I want it, because the biggest issue currently is going to be cost.
Sure.
Because the diode itself is very expensive. Now, eventually we're hoping it'll get down to where LED technology is, and it won't be as. I think it's always going to be expensive. It's going to be expensive for a long time, but eventually, hopefully, it gets better and it gets cheaper, just like a lot of this stuff is.
Well, yeah, a lot more people will start making.
And so back to the big light bar thing. A big light bar, like if we put a bunch of lasers in there, it's literally a $5,000 light bar.
Okay, so
sign
me up.
Sign me up.
Where do I go?
I got check-ins in the savings, and all my money's in my savings.
Yeah.
And so it's going to be cool. We don't really know. Yes, it sounds awesome, but it's, it's hard to get the laser diodes right now, and so we're waiting on production. It's going to be an evolving process for sure.
Yeah. Well, it'll be cool to watch and see as that
Unfolds.
comes around. Yeah. Hey, James, you're over there with a goofy look on your face.
Smirk on his face.
What's going through that little brain of yours? What questions do you have for Brennan, our current lighting expert?
What can I put on a rally car to make it go faster?
You're going to hate what I had to say.
Just say it, okay?
It's going to be lit.
It's good.
That's all I was
You
thinking.
weren't wrong.
It's going to
Okay,
be
just
Turned
lit.
into the
Hang on,
worst
let me-
podcast.
Let me write this note.
That's going to be the slogan for the light bar.
Nailed it.
when,
It's going to be lit.
when James has dumb look, don't ask what it's for. Got it. Okay, wrote it down. Moving on.
One question, I don't want to compare you guys to other companies, but how
There are no other
far-
lighting companies,
How far
Russo.
ahead are you from the other companies?
So, it's hard to tell because everyone's, obviously keeps it
Hush,
because you don't want to be the person out there like dropping hints that you have this technology. But there is actually some people that are testing this technology out, and it's gonna get interesting. It's keeping everyone on their toes.
Yeah.
And there's some people we have our eyes on, and we're just making sure that ours is going to be better than theirs.
Absolutely.
As far as I see it, you either buy Baja Designs or you buy eBay.
Okay,
it's-
Or if you're James, you get it from Etsy.
Etsy.
Oh, Etsy light bars.
There are quality goods on Etsy for your spouse, your sister, and all the other ladies in your family.
Who need light bars?
Who need that part?
I have a question for you. I mean, how long have you worked at Baja Designs?
5.5-ish years.
Okay, so you were there like pre-LED technology when they were still HIDs, or was it really
early on? We were still selling HIDs at the beginning. We had the Stealth and we had the Onyx. So Squadron has always been around as long as I've been there.
Yeah.
And HIDs were probably still a big chunk of the business. Mm-hmm. But now we've essentially discontinued HID lights.
Got it. They're that far behind the curve?
It's not that they're behind the curve. It's just the technology has come such a long way that it just doesn't make a ton of sense.
They're bulky.
For what you get. So, I mean, it's hard because everyone likes to talk about HID distance. And, I mean, don't get me wrong, HID distance is fantastic. Yeah. There's not much that beats a HID spot 8-inch light. Like, it's hopefully what we can get if lasers are, if we're talking crazy distance on lasers, hopefully that might,
right, supersede
that and just be
like
fantastic.
How many amps does an HID pull?
It's actually not a lot. It's a lot at startup due to the igniter. Right. But once they're running, I mean, they're 3.5 amps.
Yeah, it's that startup that kicks them up. Yeah.
But I mean, what's the startup even? Maybe 10?
10.
12?
Yeah. And what's a normal LED of the same caliber?
It's with LEDs you always get more usable light. That's the thing. So the HID will get you out there, but if you try to do like a combo or anything like that, you're going to lose distance, and you're not going to get a nice full pattern with the LED stuff now. Right. It's like front to back, left to right. You get so much more. So for something comparable in size and dollars, you actually get more what we call usable light.
Gotcha.
So you live in Southern California, so you've seen...
Unfortunately.
Yeah, I know. You've seen everything from the stock 1990s Ranger that has the stupid Craigslist light bar on top to the guys racing around here with your guys' products. What's your preference? Would you rather have a truck, let's say technology was the same on an HID and an LED, or you guys had, you have your 8-inch... I don't know. Don't you guys have an 8-inch round that's an LED?
Well, we do the LP9, the one that we talked about in the very beginning, which is the latest and greatest, yeah.
What do you think looks better? What do you think the style is better? Having a big LED bar or having like 4 rounds on a roof rack or something?
This is just a personal preference.
Yeah, exactly.
This is a personal preference. I mean, I kind of came into the sport during the time when HIDs were a thing. Yeah. And, I mean, I don't hate the look of, a couple HIDs on a car and just big badass lights. The LED stuff is a little bit cleaner. But, I mean, I'd say off-road. I mean, when you think of, like, Baja and you think about trophy trucks, you always picture these trophy trucks with, big rack of, like, 8 HIDs on top. And you're like, oh, that's freaking bad.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I just wanted to make sure we're on the
I'd probably
same
be on the
page.
side. I'd be on the side of, like, HIDs.
See, I don't mind. Like, I come from the days when I had my Bronco, my 69 Bronco. I had big old, like, round sealed beam. I mean, they were literally headlights mounted up on the roll bar. And that's all it was. And then it was like, what? There's halogen? What is this? What is this crazy technology? And all of a sudden,
that was like pre-halogen?
Yeah. And then then it was like, no, you can get these lights. KC has them. And you put them on there, and they're like a halogen bulb in the back that you can take out and replace if it goes bad. I'm like, no way. That's awesome. So when we get those.
Replace the whole thing? That's crazy.
Yeah. So
they're probably 100-watt halogen bulbs that, they draw a lot more. They draw a lot,
Yeah, dude, you put those things on and you were getting had to get like bigger alternators and 2 batteries.
And they were hot.
Yeah, you touch it and you're like, and you'd burn your elbow, you're like, don't touch that, So, I mean, that's what I remember. So everything now is just crazy.
But
sleek.
you don't get the Casey smiley face on the front, Like
hey, they brought those back.
Yeah.
The daylighter.
You can get those.
Yeah, so I mean, when it comes to, our competition, I don't, everyone there's something for everybody. I don't say that, the guys cruising around with, stock Rangers and they want to light. I mean, like, by all means, go get a light. You don't have to buy a Baja Designs light bar. I get it. Before Baja Designs, I was that guy.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, and let's talk about our biggest concern. So you're an everyday dude. Mm-hmm. You're driving your Ranger around. That's your daily driver. you're going back and forth to work with that thing. You're parking it outside.
It's more for looks.
You know, well, and you're worried that, you know, I'm going to go out and buy a really nice high-end Baja Designs light, and someone's going to steal it. They're going to just take it right off my truck, and I'm not going to have it anymore.
Yeah.
So a lot of guys are choosing the cheap, not necessarily because the only reason is because they're afraid, hey, if it gets stolen, well, whatever, it was a $200 light.
Yeah, $100. Yeah,
$100.
And I get it, you know, and I tell people all the time, you know, I have these conversations every show. I mean, I go to every show that's, I mean, literally in this country. I've traveled all over the world going to shows and talking to people. Mm-hmm. It's just there's different, you know, different strokes for different folks. You know, if that's what you're into and you don't need the performance, but it's hard because once you see the performance, you're like, oh, okay, I get it.
Yeah, you're hooked.
but you know, a lot of people can't really. It's not really feasible, and I get it. You know, if you have a UTV, you know, spending $1,400 on a light bar is like a big part of the overall cost of the car. You know, like I'm only in this thing $20,000, $1,200 of it's a light bar. Like that's crazy. But
but your product is a high end product.
Yeah,
you got a high end product with high end clientele. I mean, Rolex doesn't worry about people out buying Casios.
Yeah,
you know, they're not going to worry. So now we know you're going to be at King of the Hammers. That's actually the first week of February.
Mm-hmm. There's also Parker that same weekend, and so we'll have a booth at Parker and a booth at KOH.
Okay,
I believe we're having a booth. I'll have somebody at Parker for sure.
And is the Parker, is that a 500 or a 250 or what is that?
425?
Oh,
is it 425?
Don't hold me to that.
You might be right.
I might be right.
Yeah. Okay. And then we're gonna hopefully go out to, now this isn't until March 2nd, 3rd, 4th, which is the 56th annual Desert Safari, the Tierra Del Sol 4-wheel drive clip.
Oh, yeah.
I've done it. I've been there. I've vended at that. That thing is crazy. It's
that place
the
gets out of
raffle
control.
thing.
Yeah.
The raffle night is literally insane.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's as big as it was a couple years ago.
Oh yeah.
But people were camping out for the raffle.
Yeah. It's huge.
Everyone brings lawn chairs, and it was like a stadium full of people in lawn chairs.
Yeah.
Everyone just, you know, and there was some good stuff. There was sets of tires and shocks. So there was some big stuff getting thrown out.
Didn't they raffle like a Polaris?
I don't doubt it.
Yeah, they did. So here's the deal. I went on the website, right, and I checked it out because I thought, maybe I want to get a booth and we can let people know about Bent Motorsports and, you know, not that we sell a product per se, but, you know, we'll put on a little show, right? Well, part of the deal is there's different packages of vendors, right? So you can, and you donate your stuff to the raffle, and then they raffle it off. So almost every vendor there is pretty much going to be raffling off something. And then there's the cost of putting it in. Super affordable for any company, really, to go out there and do it. I mean, you can be a big baller and have a big area with big stuff, or you can just be a little guy with a little booth, and it's super affordable. But then I thought, well, it's going to lock me down, and my Jeep and all my stuff's going to be locked down to this booth, and I really want to go out in four-wheel.
Yeah, I feel
it's all hard. It depends on what you want to do, you know.
So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go out, and we're going to wheel, and we're going to be out on the trails, and we're going to be on the Truck Haven side of the highway. And if you come out and you find us and you say you heard us talk about this on the podcast, we're going to have the Jeep filled with swag, and you get free stuff. But you got to come find me. So be on the lookout for my Jeep with my logo on the side. And if you don't know what it looks like, go to Instagram and Facebook and check it out and find it and look for the Shop LJ. And then come find us out March 2nd through the 4th, and we'll hook you up. And if you do find my camp, then even better, because you can tell your friends I'll just be sitting there all night long.
I'm not moving.
I'm not moving.
It's like going to the house that gives the full-size candy bars out.
Oh,
exactly,
yeah.
exactly.
Everyone wants to go to that house.
That's going to be my house right there.
Now I want candy.
So if I get too many people coming by the camp at night while we're sitting around the campfire, I'm just going to get in my Jeep and drive away. That way you got to come find me at night.
Park it like a mile away.
Yeah.
In the middle of nowhere.
So that's something to look forward to. So we got, and I'm not sure I'm going to make the King of the Hammers. I'm going to try to get out there. Maybe I can get out there by the Friday.
Have you been?
The race. I've never been to it yet, but I'm going on a cruise, and then the cruise, when we get back from the cruise, I've got, like a couple of days. I got to been into the shop, and then I got to go out to Johnson Valley for that. So
I went to the, funny name, the Backdoor Shootout.
Yeah.
Last year.
Nice.
It was a zoo.
James went to the same thing, but it was down at Hillcrest last year.
This is crazy.
The Backdoor Shootout. That wasn't that the same. What was it?
Yeah.
That was it, wasn't it?
There was lots of trucks there.
Hugging and tugging. What was that thing at SEMA?
Hugging and tugging.
It was pulling
It's
weight.
so like literally you hike up like a billy goat, and people bring coolers and like are camped out for the backdoor shootout, and it's guys and there's rock bouncers, there's Ultra 4 cars, and it's a race from and there's money on the line. So if you get the fastest time up backdoor, you get I don't know, I thought it was like $15,000. It was something crazy. It was big money.
Because everybody's putting in, right?
I
Or
think
it's
it's all
sponsored.
sponsored.
Everybody's
sponsored.
putting out, actually.
This is
I mean,
really-
it is like people at the bottom of the thing are just they give it all they got all the way up the thing. It is
Wow.
just nuts.
So they're either going to get to the top first or at the quick.
I mean, they have like a crane up there to like get people flipped over. It's time, so it's the fast. So as soon as they hit go, I mean, there's guys that were doing it in like 45 seconds, and then there's other guys that are doing it in like 2 minutes. And so, and it's short. It's a couple 100 yards.
I would think once I got to the 45-second mark, I'd just stop and go back down. Like I
Well,
lost.
so you go up and then you do a loop around the mountain, and then it's just kind of like guys take turns, and it's just like you just do it or
Just
you
do
know.
it.
And there's people that go out there and this is like what they do for fun. And
Just wrecking their vehicles to do it.
I saw some crazy stuff, just breaking everything. But it's part of the
I gotta go.
That
show.
sounds cool.
Yeah, that sounds awesome.
Well, speaking of wrecking vehicles, when we went to Tierra del Sol, or was that last year? Yeah, last year. We were sitting out, was it Friday night? And
The Samurai or the...
all of it, just all of it. That whole night, we
That
were
whole
just
night
sitting
was
out by
crazy.
the whole, was
Just a
it the
total
Proving
shit
Grounds?
Oh,
Yeah.
And you just sit there and you just watch these people, and this guy's like pegged up against the rock, like completely sideways, and he's not moving anywhere, but he's like rocking it back and forth, trying to get his door to like get unglued from this rock he's pinned against, and he's just going for it. And it's like he just doesn't give a shit what's going on with the with his car. He's just
Well, what about that? Did you see the guy that there's one out there, the hard obstacle, right? That
The
looks
big
hard is the
cement tubes.
the big cement tubes thing, right? Which is crazy. But there's a steeper one that's like called a bowl or something.
Oh, you have to wrap around inside of it. The guy who used
Yeah.
like his cage as a fifth wheel.
No, there's
Yeah.
it's like a totally open face wall that's like slurry sealed, and it's a wall, and it's steeper than that little tube thing. But it's just not as exposed, so you don't know it's there.
Tube thing.
Man, this guy was going up, and he was bouncing this thing, and then it finally tipped backwards, and the dude fell like 2 stories onto his cage. Boom! And I'm like, man, that dude's
thing
gonna have
he
a
had a
headache
cage.
in the morning.
Yeah.
I've seen some guys crash out there with no cages and just pancake their whole roof in.
Mhm.
Yeah, these guys. I mean, what happens is we get a crowd. Like, there's a guy who's going for it, and next thing you know, there's 100 people there watching, and we're like, "Yeah, bro, go until you break, or
so
we're
there-
not going to watch."
So Tierra del Sol, there's the slot. Is it the slots out
Yeah.
there?
Yeah.
Okay, so Tierra del Sol at night at the slots is freaking insane.
Yeah, it's a party.
Dude, I was out there and there was a tank driving through the slots with a kid on the freaking turret gun on top. It was like powered by propane, just bop, 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 for hours, just going up and down the slots in a seriously military tank. No joke.
Yeah,
that's cool.
dude. There's videos. Go on YouTube and type in
I don't
Tierra
know.
del Sol.
Whatever it is, it'll
whatever.
come up. There's people.
There's
in
guys like
razors.
jumping razors into crowds of people.
Yeah,
like
it's
if you're going out there,
nuts.
you'd be on your game, dude, because there's some crazy.
I
shit
watched
going
2
on.
people go head on, hit
Nice.
each other. One was like a stock Jeep, one was like an stock F-150, head on crash, back up, smash into each other again, and start yelling at each other and throwing beer bottles. And then the one guy in the F-150 pushed the other car through the slot backwards.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was out of control.
Yeah, it gets.
I was like,
pretty
oh,
wild.
okay, time to go. This is getting a little.
Yeah. I
getting a
remember
little nuts.
last year, Jake, or whatever, when we were up at the proving ground thing, right? The
Yeah.
obstacle course, and it was at night, and we're
Oh,
like watching the
When the
craziness.
cops came?
Dude, and then the cops were there, and then people
Oh,
started doing
man.
some stuff, and I got my kids. I'm like, all right, kids, time to go. Let's go. Time to go.
Yeah.
This guy like sets down.
We're
like,
not trying to deter people. We're trying to like send them there. It
it's-
is
it's fun.
fantastic
No,
to
great
watch.
it's
to
super
watch.
fun, but at night, I'm
it's
telling
great.
you, it's fun. During the day, it's all good. Everything's fine, normal, family friendly. But then at night, if you're a family, I recommend just hang out in your camp and have a good time and hit it in the morning because the crazies come out at night.
There's some stuff to see.
Didn't they shut down the whole proving grounds at one point?
Saturday night they shut it down. That's why everyone goes to the.
Oh,
other
it's 'cause
areas.
of fireworks.
Yeah.
Oh, because of fireworks too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think they do it for that reason. They're like, yeah, we don't want people getting too crazy here, so
Yeah.
we'll have a fireworks show just so conveniently at the same time as people getting crazy.
Yeah, whatever, it works.
Where are the
Super fun.
slots?
Remember that was the area where, it's north of the
Oh,
highway.
is that the tunnels and like
Remember
you
the guys
go down?
they had the big propane trucks and they were getting stuck.
Got it. Oh yeah, that was a shit
Those
show
trucks
for
were
sure.
insane. They would have like winches pulling up a single wheel just to like maybe cantilever themselves like out of a situation. It was insane the
There's
amount of
pretty cool
like
propane
effort.
trucks out there.
I don't want to like talk crap on anybody, but it is pretty fun to watch how some people try to rescue some trucks.
Hilarious.
You're just like, man, I mean, I'm not saying I know what to do, but I know sure as heck that's not going to work.
Did you see that guy in that Jeep getting pulled out of the mud the other day and the whole front of his truck fell off?
No.
Yeah, ripped. Was it
Tie
was it
rods,
XJ,
wheels,
right?
everything. Yeah, tires go, boom, they just go flat. And then everyone was like, oh!
I saw that.
It was stuck pretty good.
Yeah.
What was the other? There was another one we saw. It was like
That
on
was
a
the
beach.
Wrangler that got pulled out on the beach, and then he
pulled out by a big, huge
It was
front loader.
Yeah, it just like pulling, not moving, and then it just rockets like straight up out of the mud, and then jumps like 6 feet forward. It
Yeah,
was
the
cool.
Jeep just popped straight out of the. It was like it was at a beach.
Yeah.
I don't know where it was, but it was at a beach somewhere, and it was sunk in the sand, wet sand, and it just popped out
It was
almost
up
like
to,
the.
it was up to the lug nuts. If not
it finally got the suction done. It just popped straight out of the ground. It was funny.
Did you see that winch fail one that just I don't know? I saw it like a week ago.
Or hit the guy in the face?
Yeah, and you saw him in the hospital.
I might have seen that.
Yeah, that was a pretty terrible one. Just another reminder that
Blew the guy's face apart.
Yeah.
Not good.
synthetic leads are a thing
Are
of the
your friend.
future.
They're your friend.
Yeah, I like the synthetic.
I don't
one.
really, that's not really my cup of tea. I don't know too much about that stuff. I'm, more going fast and
Yeah, pre-runner guy.
not getting slow, not going slow, not getting stuck.
Yeah,
I do get stuck once a year.
stay on top, right? Keep it over 100 and you stay on top.
Yeah.
You don't sink if you're going over 100. I don't care what you're in, right? James knows.
Oh, yeah.
James knows.
Of course.
So I want to hear more about your personal truck that you are currently building.
What's your favorite part of it? Like, what's the coolest feature?
The new build?
Coolest thing you put on there?
Currently, it's the Dirt Tech rear end. It's the most expensive part, the most expensive single part I've ever purchased.
You
So
don't
you
have to
wanna
share how
fill
much.
us in on that?
Yeah,
Yeah,
if you don't feel comfortable
Just
with
an
It
it.
may or
estimate.
may not have been $6,000,
Oh, my God.
and it's not done. I still need a third member and gears.
My entire
So by the
world.
time
so
it's
that's
done-
just the housing.
That's the housing, hubs, and axles.
But you said your wife supports you in this endeavor?
Yeah, I
Until she
I
hears
sell
this.
myself. I sell myself to acquire these goods.
There you go.
You do what you got to do.
So currently that's it. So, but the cool thing about the new truck is I'm actually putting I-beams on it.
Sweet.
So stock, it's A-arm.
Nice.
I had a full A-arm kit for it, and it just wasn't going to be what I wanted in the end. And I wanted a little bit more of a plush ride with more travel. And so I got a guy building some fantastic beams with 1 3/4 kingpins. Everyone else's kingpins are 1 inch. These kingpins are 1 3/4 out of a semi-truck.
Nice.
Wow.
And so literally I could probably drive this thing forever and not have to service the front kingpins and all.
We use a kingpin to hold the door open over there.
Is it a 1 inch? That's pretty big. That might be 1 3/4 actually.
Yeah.
You
And
can
so
borrow it.
that's going to be the second cool feature. It's just going to be a cool deal. I've learned a lot, and figuring out what works and what doesn't work. I got a couple buddies that are just fantastic at knowing what works, what doesn't work. They've already done it.
Yeah.
And so shock packages and spring rates, like it's going to be a fantastic truck.
That's cool.
Just due to the help that I have, the people that I know, and it's big fuel cell. That's cool. 75-gallon fuel cell.
Oh, wow.
Jesus.
So you average 4 miles a gallon. You can get pretty far.
Yeah, so it's probably gonna be 4 or 5 miles to the gallon. It's gonna have a built LS. It's gonna have. I'm trying to do the full Holley engine management, having everything controlled by the computer. I want fans to come on when they need to come on. Fuel pumps are gonna come on when they need to come on. It's gonna be a cool deal.
Get yourself a race pack or
Hey, sure.
Motec or something. I mean, you spend $6,000 on a housing. I mean,
Yeah, you might as well.
$1,500 for like
for a management system,
Yeah.
you might as well.
Make sure nothing blows up.
Maybe I'll talk to you about that. I don't know.
We can
That's
do
fine.
it. What about now your LS? Is it at LS7, LS3,
So
LS1?
I'm not super keen. I got a guy. I got a
got a
motor
guy.
guy. Maruzi Motors.
Oh, okay.
He builds a lot of the 1400 guys motors. He's built motors for Camberg, a bunch of race teams are running his LS motors. He does fantastic work, and everyone's having a lot of, everything's super reliable.
Yep.
I mean, it's going to be a port and polish cam, so it's going to be putting out like 525.
That's good.
525 horsepower.
Real solid.
But I want to, and I want
That's all
something super reliable. I don't want, you can, put a heavy tune on it. You can do all this stuff, but like, I want to drive it on the street. I want to be able to put thousands of miles on it before I need to rebuild it. I don't want a 2,000. I don't want a 2,000 mile motor. I want a 10 to 15,000 mile motor.
Right. That makes sense.
Shit, I want like a 300,000 mile motor. I'll go with the 22 RE.
Yeah, when you're,
Hey.
I just got a truck that has a 22
Ooh, all
RE.
right.
Yeah, there it is. Did
I just got a little daily driver, a little Toyota pickup.
you see the correlation there?
Yes.
LS owner, 22 RE owner.
I see.
There's something-
Speaking of
there's
LSs,
something in the
Russo's
blood.
over there. I can tell he's dying to talk about it.
Dying
Oh my
right
God.
now.
So give
I'm
us
down to learn some stuff. I don't know anything.
give us a progress report on your LS project.
So I had my brother and a good buddy Sal come down Sunday, and we basically beat out a trans tunnel all day, to say the least.
Just cut it out.
Was that a euphemism?
I wish I would have, honestly. It would have been a lot easier. So basically, motor's in.
Wait a
I
minute,
took
that's
the old motor out
disgusting.
last weekend on Friday, I think it was. So old motor was out. It is a heavy lump, I'm not going to lie. So that's out. Now I'm just, new motor's in, motor mounts are made, trans tunnel is beat. And
Is it?
Yeah, it's super beat. It's real beat.
I don't
What is
like
this going
this.
A Beamer.
Ooh, okay.
So
Your make and model, just in case somebody didn't hear.
1983 533.
Ooh, that's gonna be cool.
Yeah. So
It's an E28.
it's we got the motor pretty far back, pretty far down, so I'm hoping that'll take center of gravity down with it. I'm pretty stoked at where it's sitting. I finally cleared out like a bunch of other stuff on the driver's side because you got brake boosters and steering boxes and power steering reservoirs and just a whole bunch of stuff in the way over there. So I'm trying to like make that as cleaned up as possible before I go any further. But that's kind of where I'm at. Motor's in though. I open the hood every day to work on it, and I just get the biggest, stupidest grin on my face because it's finally in there.
We've been waiting a long time to put an LS in that thing.
I
I think you've been talking about it since I've known you.
yeah.
Let's
at
swap
least.
everything.
Yeah. I want to be part of that. I want to be part of the hashtag.
Yeah, so this will be my first LS, and but another truck that I'm super proud of is my buddy Brett's truck, his Weitzel. I don't know. You've probably seen videos. There's a video that's got well over 1 million views now, and it was his truck slow motion through big whoops, and it used to be the Ricky Bobby paint job from Talladega Nights. I don't know if you guys seen that. It said it had me with the big sticker on the side and the Cougar on the hood. So we got a video of him going slow mo through the whoops, and it's nuts, And I've had my hands in a lot of pieces of that truck, and so that's something else that. He has a bigger motor. He has a 408.
Right on.
And I mean, it's a beast, and he wants more, but
Well, yeah.
it works. It works well. It just got done getting rebuilt, and it's a fantastic package.
So that's close to a 7-liter, right? 408. Is that what that comes out to?
Jeez, I don't know. That's a lot of math. to
Yeah,
do.
I know. That's real on the spot. I'm sorry.
What's 7 liters?
7.
Oh,
Somebody have any?
Somebody
If we only had some way of
worldwidemetric.com.
looking things up, like some sort of electronic device that had
Yeah.
all the information in the world on it.
Or calculators?
Yeah. Do you have a
you
calculator?
got to know
handy?
the math.
No.
And
Jake's
so,
looking it up.
6.6.
ooh,
6.6.
6.6.
Pretty close.
Oh, look, Russo was wrong.
I know.
Oh, so what's the 7 liter
Shocker.
then? 454.
Probably.
Yeah. Or 427.
Let's not play this game all night.
Let's not play this game.
Yeah.
People, you look it up. We don't know that crap. We don't need to worry about that crap,
Go elsewhere.
I just have somebody else do it, so I don't have to worry about it.
right?
Somebody else's problem.
I agree. Usually, I'm somebody else though.
Yeah, you are.
It becomes my problem.
Well, you guys are super smart over here. I was saying earlier, you guys are pretty technical. I'm always calling Dave like, "Hey, I got this stupid wiring question, man. Like, what gauge wire should I be running for this? I should know this, but it's been helpful. It's definitely taken my my wiring know-how to the next level, and I've done a much better job thanks to it.
Well, it's a lot better than catching your awesome truck on fire.
Yeah, that would suck.
'Cause
So
that's
now-
usually bad wiring is usually what causes these truck fires.
Yeah.
Pretty damn close. So now for your personal truck, what are you using for lighting? What's like the full...
I'm super undecided right now. It's gonna I'm gonna wait till it takes shape and just kind of see what's gonna look the best.
Yeah.
And then go from there. I mean, if it's, I wouldn't mind having LP9s on there just because of the old school look and the performance that they have. It's just kind of comes down to how it looks on a front bumper.
Right.
But, minimal lights for sure. I don't want some obnoxious amount. Not going to be hauling ass. I just want to go fast and have fun.
Right on. So is this going to be a truck you're going to be able to take to Glamis? Like you can throw paddles on
I've actually never even been to Glamis, to be
Really?
honest with you. I've never had the desire. I have people ask me all the time. It's just, I know people that go, and I just don't really want any part of it.
Okay. Right. I mean,
You're not wrong.
No, that's cool.
I've been a few times. I got to be honest. I've been a few times, and I've been there on a dirt bike, and I've been there in like razors. I suppose if I had a really high-end buggy with paddles that I could do wheelies in, I might be more apt to go back. But it's kind of wild there,
You
too.
talk about a shit show at Tierra Del Sol.
I think
Glamis
I
is
think
a
the
shit
only way
show.
I would go would be like during the week,
yeah, when nobody's there.
midweek,
It's
and
so nice.
in a UTV.
It's so nice
I
during
think
the week.
that's the only way I'm going. Someone gives me a razor and says, "Hey, let's go to Glamis on a Wednesday."
All right, I'm in.
Yeah.
Fine.
Cool.
Sick.
You got
Okay,
me.
so we've planned our next Wednesday.
Awesome.
I'm down. Who's driving?
Yeah, who has a razor?
I don't know.
So, somebody does.
Wait,
Don't you have
Russo,
a Maverick,
don't you have
too?
Mavericks?
Yeah, no, just one.
You have a
Singular.
Maverick.
Yeah.
You have Mavericks?
Why the
we have
heck? What the
Mavericks.
heck are we doing here right
Exactly.
I don't know.
Great. Now James is mad.
You guys just
Well, it's a
aren't
Thursday, so we got to wait till the next Wednesday.
I mean, I let Russo use my shop for weekends at a time,
I know.
tearing cars apart, wrecking shop.
I'm filming him.
Have I ever gone for a ride in his Maverick?
I don't think
No.
so.
Never.
I don't remember that,
I've
David.
never
because he
seen it
wishes
in-
it was an X3.
Is it an X3?
Yeah.
You got a new X3?
Yeah.
Ooh, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
Those are
Literally,
awesome.
what the
Look at
heck?
this, look at-
Wow.
look
So
at
here's
him over
one
there.
cool thing about
Yeah.
not cool thing, but here's one thing with those. If anybody that's listening has one, there's a shock tuning thing online that you can go look at, and those come from the factory, like tuned way out of whack
Like
for
super stiff?
safety. Yeah, like really stiff, really low. And so they like Fox is the one telling you this, and they're like, lift up the ride height like 3 inches, tune this to this, like set your preload to this, like your transition to this, and it is like a whole nother machine. The amount of like comfort you get from it after that is just superb, because you drive it straight out of the box, like it's really good, but there's definitely, you're sitting there like looking at the shock that's as tall as you, and you're like, there's got to be a little more out of this,
So now you keep that thing out in Havasu, right?
It stays out in Havasu.
So is there any way that it could accidentally find its way to Tierra del Sol?
I was talking to my brother about it because last year I took my sister's Jeep out there.
Yeah.
And now
Which is
she's
gone now.
she sold it, so it's like, well, what do I do now?
Take
so
her
maybe,
Forerunner.
That's not happening. So I was talking to my brother about it, and I was like, hey, let's grab our buddy's trailer and load up the Razor and the Maverick and head out.
Well, we're also going to have the Grand Cherokee out there, right? The shop Grand Cherokee. Well,
Yeah.
at least
Yeah,
we'll
we
have
are.
the donut lift and the tires on by then.
That'll
so,
be Jake and me.
so
100%.
if we can just get
You
the
better
thing to
put some
pass
bump
smog.
stops on that thing because we like to go fast and we don't have a lot of money. So
Well, he just drove it today and found out it's got sick death wobble,
Dude,
so we
it
need
is
to fix
the
that.
Oh, I love
worst.
Death
hell
Wobble.
yeah.
Real
It's
bad?
great. Oh,
Real
yeah.
bad?
I was coming down doing like 50, and I just eased on the brakes to go make this right turn.
That's like
It's-
a Jeep thing.
It
is.
started up, and it did not stop until like I got down to 8 miles an hour.
No
it was
way,
cool.
that
it was
bad.
rad. Oh, it's terrible.
We got all new parts that are going on it, so
Mhm.
we'll get it safe.
Yeah, we got
Death
some
Wobble
fuzzy
delete
dies.
kit.
Yeah, it's called the Jeep Delete Kit.
Oh, we should make that. That's a good idea.
You want to get rid of the death wobble? Just use our Jeep Delete Kit.
it's called a
You just-
Toyota.
It's a
called
hand grenade.
Craigslist.
It's a hand grenade and a business card to Toyota Escondido. Hey, and I own Jeeps, people, so relax.
Right, yeah. Everybody calm down.
Yeah, everybody
Talk
calm
crap
down.
on Land Cruisers.
We got our Sebring, our savory salmon Sebring that we
Savory
got to build for
salmon.
the Gambler 500 that we're going to do.
Wait, this right here?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Oh,
that's our
okay.
Gambler 500 car.
that's awesome.
One of the guys from our
Cherokees.
shop did that last year,
Yeah,
and like literally had a PVC tube roll cage in his car.
Hell
No
yeah.
roof,
dude,
just die
all
hard.
these ideas.
Die hard.
So many ideas.
They're coming here
Was it
this
BMW, I
Sunday.
think?
They're coming here this Sunday for a wrenching party
I was thinking we
On
just
this?
weld one post.
on everything. They're going to bring their own cars, everything.
Roof to floor,
Ah.
one
It's gonna be
singular
sick.
Just a
No
shit show of shenanigans.
No.
Yes.
Well, that's what the windows and doors are for. Those are the supports, but the singular tube keeps the roof from collapsing
Like a
in.
stripper
From the
pole.
bottom to the top.
Exactly. Roll cage.
Maybe some base plates. That's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
I would have the sickest gambler car.
You got to get one.
Yeah,
dude.
what would you gamble? You had to go, if you had $500 and you could assume what was on Craigslist right now, which is a bunch of horse shit, what would you buy?
Like a cheap Toyota pickup.
Yeah.
But that's not classically
Wait,
unreliable.
is it $500?
Yeah,
$500.
And it's
You only
supposed
have-
to be unreliable?
Oh, yeah.
So it either
Oh my
has.
gosh.
Here's the thing. It's either it's $500
Ford Ranger.
or yeah, perfect. That falls under the $500 and classically unreliable.
Uh-huh.
So it's got to be classically unreliable or obnoxious or unique, right? Or $500. So that white Jeep behind you, we paid $300 for that. The savory salmon on the lift, we paid $400 for that.
That was
And I got
spendy.
another Grand Cherokee outside that I paid $100 for. Mind
And
you,
they all
all
run?
three of them run
Oh,
and
yeah.
drive.
Oh, wow. That's fantastic.
So $800, and I
There's
got
deals to
3
be
cars.
had.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, we do
I saw
dumb things.
I saw all the videos from it, and I mean, it looks like a blasty.
No, it's going to be so much fun. And this next one is actually a 2-wheel and 4-wheel. So they're going to have a whole motorcycle run, and they're going to have a car run. So there's 2 different categories. Yes, Jake, with your hand up.
Why don't we reverse the Jeep, lower the salmon on top of it,
And
Weld it
weld them
weld it,
together.
yeah, and then if we hit a hard enough wall or something, the people in the upper car will then launch forward and continue driving.
Yes.
Well, I wanted to take the Jeep that's outside, and because they're unibody, and chop it down and bolt it to the top of this one. So like cut the front end off though, so it's just firewall back, so you could have a total upper deck. You could be hanging out
Double
up there.
decker Cherokee.
Double decker Cherokee,
Okay.
right?
And
Maybe
are
we
people
could.
going to ride on the top?
Yeah, you can ride in the top.
The double chop.
And because there's no access to the driver, you can have alcohol up there.
It's
like a
Just like
limo.
a limo.
Okay, for real though.
That's happening.
Are you using that Jeep as a parts truck?
What about 8x8?
Yeah.
8x8
Yeah? Okay.
Cherokee.
Whatever.
If it's a
Why, what do you
$100
wanna
part,
do to it?
it's $100
I
cab
want
now.
I
you
want to
weld it
cut
on
the
top.
roof off and put like a skeleton cage to like
Yeah, what if we made it
pull
convertible?
the top weight.
We can do
off
whatever
the
we
top.
want to on that other one. It's just going to have to be off-road only. We're going to have to trailer it to where we go.
No, that's what I'm
Not
saying.
if it's convertible. Is there
Not if
something
you're a
against
true
that?
gambler.
Yeah, it's true. If you're a true gambler, you're just going to roll dirty and get done.
Yeah, I wanted to cut the roof off so that it doesn't have as much. It's not so top heavy, and then just rally the piss out of it.
Great. Perfect.
Problem solved.
Awesome. We don't need the roof for
Are
parts,
you the rally
right?
car guy?
Oh man,
I
you
listen to the podcast.
You know,
Dude,
you know.
you don't
know.
want to start this conversation. I've been
Oh,
trying to tone
it would
it down.
end so fast because I have no idea what anything
I'm sorry
is.
Shelly's not here for 2 more.
Well, speaking of lighting, one of the coolest things about rally cars is the night lighting. Like
Molded into the hoods.
They build the
Oh, yeah.
whole fiberglass thing, and they are so bright. And especially back in the '80s, like just as much as everybody was pushing technology and suspension and fuel management and all that stuff, like lighting was a thing. They're like, "How do we see at night?" And they're like, "Well, let's do it like this."
It was back in the HID days. Back, I
Yeah.
was using big lights and Frenching them in there.
It was
Yep.
pretty sweet. And then you'd slide front ways into something, and all the lights would get smashed up. And it was like, now you got to do a night stage without any lights.
What are they doing now?
Or they had like 2 on the side, and you're
I
like,
don't know. What kind of lighting do they put on the front of them now?
I
Is
think
it
it's
regular
not even
old
a thing
headlights
anymore.
and
same
stuff?
stuff.
you know
I
what?
think.
Really?
As far as I'm concerned, because I follow a bunch of, WRCs, like, you can watch the highlights and it's fun, but it's kind of boring as compared to watching reruns of like old Group B and Group A and fun stuff like that. But
You just live in the old days.
oh man, it's rad. But you go and watch the grassroots guys, and they buy light bars. They buy freaking light bars that you have in your Ranger, and they bolt them right to the front of the hood, and it does the job. It's awesome. I saw one guy do that on a Beamer, and I was just like, that is the ticket.
It's perfect.
For mine, I definitely want to get some 6 inches or 8 inches and actually make.
Dude,
them
you need
mold
the
and
8-inch
everything.
ones that Baja Designs
Dude,
has.
what is that? LP9s?
Big. They're big.
Dude, I want them.
Yeah, but we'll sink them down and
8
we'll
by
build a
8.
little
Right.
fiberglass thing.
Oh,
over
right
it.
into the thing, make like a bevel for it, and
Yeah.
then kind of oh man.
Yeah, why not?
Oh,
It'd be more
man.
expensive
Please.
than the whole car.
Well, I'm
Probably.
Well, the car was $525
if you
double the price of the whole car.
exactly,
for one.
which is cool.
Worth it. You
Just
just
have
So-
one like
so Brennan,
Cyclops light right in the middle.
James is currently looking for sponsorship.
Yeah, Baja Designs
In the rally car?
Yeah, CRS. We're going CRS. What is it? CRS 2. That's over. Or actually, no, sorry. If we can do the Celica, we're going CRS 1. That's under 2 liter. If we have to do something where we go over 2 liter, we're gonna go CRS 2. So California Rally Series, it's gonna be rad.
Oh, I thought
where
I
is
can't
that?
remember shit.
No,
I like that.
Where's it at?
it's all
Glen
up and down.
Helen, right?
It's all no. That's the
There's that rally cross.
California Rally Series. Yeah, there's a rallycross event at Glen Helen, and then there's a couple more all the way
Raced
up.
at
be
Glen,
fun.
I've raced at Glen Helen in trucks.
I'll
cool.
take
That's
the
pretty crazy.
I'll
Glenn.
take the stock E36 out to rallycross at Glen Helen, grass across out of Glen Helen right now. I'm so stoked for that. But as far as actually racing, that's the dream, is to get on the California Rally Series. And then there's also, I think there's one-off events like 100 Acre Wood, really dope.
I've heard
If
of
you
that.
don't know about it, it's really neat. And then Mount Hood Rally. I'm not sure that's the name.
I think
of it.
I've seen those videos.
The Hood
I think
Rally.
the only time I've ever watched Rally was in like Desert People movies, and I wish they didn't put it in there.
Like, what is this shit?
Ruin the whole flow.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, there's
Was
sick
that a
trophy
car?
trucks and there's rally cars.
It's a car.
No, I'm just kidding. Rally
That's
cars
awesome.
are cool.
They're
Rally cars
pretty
are cool.
neat. I think they're neat. I think it's everything
Super
that's
neat.
good about motorsports.
You're
all in
neat
one
too,
little
James.
Hey, thanks.
You should
David.
definitely rally it with the blown out bushings, because that's like more give, you know. Like
It,
helps you
almost
absorb the
it'll
big
follow
bumps.
the
shock
road
absorbers.
more,
Yeah.
probably. Yeah,
Yeah, I think
Side
that's-
side load shock.
exactly. I think you guys are right.
So, James, let's talk about this. We're going to revamp the website, and we are going to add back our speed shop side, right?
We're coming back. It was actually, we started talking about this back right when we got off the SEMA trip.
Yes.
And we all turned to David and we're like, hey, David, didn't you used to be a race car driver? And he was just like, maybe.
Sure.
I'm David.
Yeah, the SEMA juices flowing.
Yeah.
and all of a
SEMA
sudden
juices
you guys
were
get all
flowing,
jacked
man.
up.
Oh, yeah.
We were basically sitting in the back of a motorhome
for
driving
6
Here's-
hours.
all the way
Okay.
home. And
From the beginning of what happened, Jake and I went to the Continental tire booth, and they put us in a brand new 4-door BMW M3, and we felt the need for speed. It was amazing. And then we were like, wow, you know what? Okay, 4x4s are rad. Like, go fast pre-running stuff is sick, but have you ever just gotten sideways on asphalt? Because that is gnarly. Have you ever pulled, like, more than 2 Gs through a turn or something? Like, felt your face stretch? Because it's crazy.
You just need to go for a ride in some of the trucks that I've been able to ride in, and it changes the ball game.
It's
Then
crazy.
Then it's off road. It's like, oh no, I like going 90 through whoops. This is
It's
fantastic.
of course, and like I love going 40 on double wide graded
Sideways.
dirt roads in $500 cars. It's the most fun. You're like, oh
we did
my
that.
gosh,
We did that a
we're
little
so
bit in high
loose.
school. Like my buddies bought cheap cars. There was a all-wheel drive Subaru, like an 80s
Heck yeah.
Subaru that was all-wheel drive.
Yeah.
I think they were always all-wheel drive, right? Subaru's been
Well, it was,
notorious.
Since the 80s, you got Jesse's,
Was it
you got
four-wheel drive?
all
It was
kinds
like
of
a
things.
weird. It was like a weird deal.
Is it
yeah.
a brat? Hopefully it was a
I don't
brat.
know what it
Or
was.
just
But it
was.
like literally went everywhere. We were over here in the hills just farting around, and
Yeah.
there was nowhere it didn't go.
Yeah, those
Nuts.
things are crazy.
So
So yeah,
after we got a taste of that, we came back to David and we're like, hey, you were an autocross guy for a minute. He's got literally a wall full of plaques and trophies in his office.
Didn't know that.
And of course, every time we're talking about building race cars or trucks, we discuss it by ourselves, and then we go, well, did you ask David? And we're like, well, I have to discuss it with you first. I don't want to look stupid in front of David.
Get all the
Shut
dumb
you
questions
down.
out.
Exactly. So
No, that's dumb. I've already done it.
yeah, after we've done this enough, and there's been a lot of like there's been Corvettes, there've been all kind of crazy cars in here, and we're like, all right, we're doing speed shop. We're getting back into speed shop.
yep.
So what is that? What is that?
So
gonna,
basically
what is that
we-
going to entail?
I've done in the past lots of stuff, right? We've restored full cars. We did hot rods. We've done some race car stuff. But we kind of funneled the business down to just off-road. It's kind of what I was into right now. It's what I wanted to do. But in all reality, our expertise here in the shop is motorsports. And to not pay attention to those other areas would be unwise. So we're going to have Bent Motorsports is the company, and then we're going to have a couple of umbrellas where, we have the Bent Motorsports Speed Shop and we have the Bent Motorsports Off-Road. And the website will reflect that. So depending on what you're into, you can go to the website and click on either the Speed Shop or the Motorsports or the Off-Road side, and that'll take you down the path that you need to get the information you want. So we're going back to our roots, which is what the name is, which is Bent Motorsports, which is anything motorsports related. and we're gonna start taking in other projects, not just in the off-road world. And that's not to diminish our knowledge about off-road or diminish our knowledge about speed shops. We have an all-around knowledge of all these things, and we're not afraid to do both. So we're just going to do both.
Yeah, it's all
jacks of all trades. I mean, I've seen all kinds of different cars in here, and it's been.
Yeah, Brennan's been around here with us. We do a lot of, stuff that we don't. I have existing customers and people that I deal with that I don't say no to them. So even though I'm an off-road shop technically right now, you'll come in and you'll see Jeep 65 Corvette. What? Well,
most of the time I've seen non-off-road cars in here. I mean, like it's like a 50-50 chance you walk in and there's not, some random thing.
Right. So we're not
Motorcycle.
hiding that anymore. We're not hiding the fact that
That's
anymore.
awesome.
We're gonna just let everybody know that we really do everything. We don't do paint.
Can
and we
my
don't
car
do
be on the
upholstery.
website? Can you put my car on the
Hey,
website?
We're putting
Tell
a
you
rally
what,
car on the
just might.
website.
Please.
We'll put your car on the website if it's doing donuts.
Speaking
Oh
of,
yeah, absolutely. I can't wait for that day.
look out for our piece of crap '96 Grand Cherokee.
It's a stain.
The Stain.
The
Yeah.
stain.
The Stain. We got an article coming
Is
up.
that the driver's name also?
No, his name is Poop.
Oh,
Poop in the stain.
James just got it. That's a little hand grenade joke for James over there. He's like, wait, Poop Stain. David, if you say it together, it's Poop Stain.
That's funny.
David, did you know?
it's going all over the place.
So we've got an intro article coming up on that. That's actually going to be our shop's budget build. We're trying to find out exactly what it takes to get you off-roading on the trail.
And little teaser, we test fit the Takeoff JK wheels and tires we found, and they fit,
They fit,
but you can't steer it
Yeah.
who
Because of offset?
cares?
because of
Lack of
because
Sawzall.
we need to Sawzall some stuff off. So we that's just we were going to do the stock wheels and tires and go out and do it, which we will, and then we were going to just put on the wheels and tires to see if we got any better, but we wouldn't be able to steer. So we're going to have to do the wheels and tires with our little Daystar donut lift to give us the extra clearance we need, and maybe a little Sawzall action on the bumper.
So we'll have videos, and all this stuff will be up when the new website launches. So be looking forward to the new website launch too. I'm just gonna plug my ride right now. I'm pretty sure it's gonna be the Speed Shop budget build is gonna be a '96 328 IS BMW. That's gonna be fun. However, oh dude, that looks sweet. Sorry, Jake just showed me a picture of the JK wheels on the. It's not JK.
They're JK
ZJ.
wheels
Oh,
ZJ.
on
okay.
a ZJ, right?
Okay, they are.
Is that a ZJ?
And these Jeep guys in the ZJ, the
ZJ.
YJ,
Just-
the XJ.
Yeah, we have a hard time with it. I call it a Grand Cherokee Laredo.
You don't know what it is, you can't afford it.
The Grand Cha.
So anyway, yeah, be looking towards the new website. It's going to be sweet. We're going to have a lot of content up that we launch with it too. It's not just going to be like, oh, here's a website and there's nothing on it. There should be enough to keep everybody pretty
busy.
Bud Light,
But coming up.
enough to keep everybody busy and interested.
Well, I'm hoping that we have the Grand Cherokee Stain ready for Tierra Del Sol to go out and wheel around. So when you're looking for us,
maybe
you
with a
can-
couple of mods.
Oh yeah, it'll already have the lift and the tires on it.
Sweet.
That's what, 2 months out now?
Oh.
Yeah, March.
We have two
No.
rear axles,
No,
so
it's like a
let's-
month. It's
Let's
like
weld
6
one of the
weeks.
diffs.
Oh, is it really?
There's a lot of stuff
We have
coming
what?
up.
We have two rear axles, so can we weld one of the diffs?
You want to weld it? I don't care what
For
you do.
Tierra Del
I
Sol,
mean,
man.
it's a good test for what people can do.
Yeah.
Let's talk.
Get
I mean,
your
it's
lights before lockers. All you need is a welder, and then go
Yeah.
get your light bars.
we're talking about budget builds. This
Really?
isn't-
See, Brennan comes from the lighting industry, so he's a lights before lockers guy, for sure.
It's hard though, but I'm also a performance, and
He gets it,
I
but he
get
has
it.
to say it. 'Cause he
in
works
Brennan's
there.
defense, if you can't see it, how are you gonna drive up it?
I got a $40 flashlight that says otherwise.
I can't say
light,
that I
light is horsepower and speed for nighttime.
see. We used to just go to Home Depot and buy those
You can
big
have less
giant
horsepower,
ones.
but
Remember
if you
those
can't
big
see it-
square batteries?
Battery, yeah.
The big square batteries that were like, I don't know.
Oh
what-
yeah.
Right? Remember, and you drop them into the back and screw the thing on, and you get like 6 of them, and you just ratchet strap them to the roof.
37 candle power.
Yeah, they were awesome.
What's candle power versus lumens?
The one's metric and
I'm
one's
not
standard.
super technical, but I mean, so candle power is the light like that. How it was measured when it was halogen,
Okay.
and lumens is the measure for LEDs. I mean, I don't know. I'm sure there's way more technical ways to express this, but
Yeah. It's like when people ask me how many, I've got a toggle switch that'll do 120 amps AC. How many DC amps can I put through it?
I don't
I don't know,
fucking
man. I don't know, dude. You
sure
find,
there's a math-
You know
I'm
what
sure
Google is?
some really smart guy somewhere can convert AC amps to DC amps, but I can't.
Brennan, who invented the light bulb?
Einstein?
Edison.
Oh, dang it.
Both wrong. It was Tesla.
Fuck that
Oh.
guy.
It was Tesla. They stole everything. Got stolen from him.
Everything got stolen from
Poor
him.
guy. That's
Poor
what
guy.
everybody wants to play the victim. No response.
No response
Sweet.
from James.
I didn't know that was a.
Oh, Elon Musk? Was that the guy?
That's the
him.
guy. That's
Mhm.
it.
Elon Musk
Tesla,
invented
right?
the light bulb.
SpaceX.
He owns half the world. He
He's
likes
That's
this thing.
strange.
He owns Mars for sure, right?
We'll
Yeah.
ever see to a Bond villain. Let's just hope he stays on the whole like green electronic.
No, I want to see him go villainous.
Yeah.
Kind of do though.
It's going to make a death ray or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh, sidebar. Who saw? This was hilarious. So
the
they do
rocket?
this. They do the rocket launch a couple weeks ago, right? And
The one at nighttime that everyone freaked out about?
Yeah.
That I thought was aliens?
I
everyone
was
did. Who
one
didn't?
of those.
I thought that was
people.
aliens for
I
sure.
was freaking out. It was the
That
most
was aliens.
otherworldly thing I've ever seen. Like there was two pieces. One of them was pulsing light waves. The other one had this giant elliptical burst of like nonsensical chemtrail light BS going
I'm
on.
pretty sure it was aliens and the whole thing's a government.
Yeah, right.
Absolutely.
So
Stick
then,
with that.
so then,
Of course it was SpaceX. Yeah.
I called Jake and I'm like, "Oh my god, did you see it?" And he's like, "No, dude, I saw it. I'm on this hill up in Fallbrook. I watched the whole thing."
Really?
Yeah, he saw the whole thing.
That's
And we
That's
just
awesome. That's a perfect
we
spot.
just-
Oh, it was perfect.
started pontificating about how it was most definitely not explainable under any umbrella of science, and that it was definitely the end of the world.
Other than it was just a rock.
It was just
I was
rocket at night.
I was at the shop working, and my wife calls me, freaking out, using a lot
Go
of
outside.
using a lot of expressive vocabulary, and I run outside, and I was like, "Holy crap, what is this?" I was filming it because I thought I was gonna, go viral.
Yeah, along
And
with 5 billion other people.
I don't know
who
where
filmed it.
where I saw it. It was like going away from me, so it looked like it wasn't even moving.
Yeah.
And I was like, what is going on here? And then all of a sudden I hopped online and everyone was blasting like, oh, it's this rocket, blah, blah. And everyone's like fancy. Like, oh, I knew about it. It was SpaceX.
Yeah, I knew the whole
I
time.
knew the whole time everyone's freaking out.
You guys are all dumb.
So now I pay attention to that a little bit more. There was supposed to be one the other day. I don't know if it happened.
I don't know.
They
If
were
they do
doing
it during the
another
day, you don't even know.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
You wouldn't even
We
know.
ran out to try to see it, but I didn't see anything.
Yeah, I don't know. All right, well, hey, thanks everybody for listening. Again, Brennan from Baja Designs, thanks for coming in and enlightening
Yeah, buddy.
us.
Yeah, that
See
was
what I
fun.
did there, James?
Light
Hey.
enlightened
Ah.
Wah, wah, wah.
He's a really bright guy.
See you guys next
It was
time.
lit.
This has been the Bent Motorsports Podcast. Thanks for listening in. Be sure to give us a follow on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube at Bent Motorsports. Stay updated on the latest happenings, future projects, videos, and events here at the shop. Remember, guys, at Bent Motorsports, bids in stock, we've got it.